This is Vishal Joseph. Vishal is the CARICOM Youth Ambassador for Guyana. And of
Yes.
course, the forum is actually being hosted in Guyana. So, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Vishal, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. So, as most of you might see, I'm a final year or almost final year medical student. I am going to be heading into final year in September. According to my friends, I'm one of those science guys who's always into the social side. I'm always into law arguments and political arguments and so on. And that's simply because I have a passion for making change across the spectrum. I work primarily in the areas of health. That's actually where I started off my advocacy work. And now I'm actually in education. And that's simply because of my own challenges in, getting through tertiary education as it relates to finance and access to resources and that sort of thing. Um, but big shout out to my parents for supporting me, but I'm not talking about that aspect, I'm talking about other aspects. So one of the things that I've done in terms of education is I've founded a civil society organization called Bookworms. And
Okay.
essentially, because of the lack of primary education, lack of access to primary education rather in certain areas in Guyana and even secondary and tertiary. I think in the Caribbean we face problems with access to tertiary education. One of the things that we do in Bookworms is to engender the attitude of a bookworm, which is to get young people to eat up books,
Oh,
right? So we
wow.
take books, from civil society, legally of course, and distribute them to communities that are in
Right.
need. Because one thing I learned from my Red Cross days is that we give care on the basis of need. There are many communities out there that are beneficiaries, and this is not hitting at anyone, but there are many communities out there who are beneficiaries, but then we waste our efforts because they don't really need it. There's there
There
are
are
other
other communities that
exactly
might be more in need.
exactly.
Okay, is this part of your work as a CARICOM Youth Ambassador or your work in general?
Well, my work in general, but what I've been actually been able to do rather as CARICOM Youth Ambassador is to push the mandate more. As CARICOM Youth Ambassador, I think that my mandate is not so much to push my own work, all right? So my work as a CARICOM Youth Ambassador would be to help others, right? I think that the role is one where we should engender facilitation,
That's true.
right, of advocacy. As an ambassador, I'm supposed to represent those people's interests, and of course, we make the connections. We find the resources, and we get behind projects and push projects. Because many times, a lot of young people, very brilliant, have ideas, but they just don't know how to push it. And my work doesn't even just stay at home. I'm actually working with somebody in St. Lucia and in St. Kitts right now.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Yeah, talk about regional
of
integration
course, CARICOM all the way.
all the way. But they say all work and no play, right?
Hmm.
So let's talk about Vishal outside of work. What are your interests there?
All right. So first off, I'm a major soccer junkie. Major. My friends will tell you that I come from an ethnic background here in Guyana that is also known in Trinidad and probably across the Caribbean as Douglas. So I enjoy everything. I'm always out there. I mean there are a few things that I don't like here or there, but as you said, all work no play. So we have soccer. I I get my little bit of partying done here or there. But then, of course, I'm also into the other games. Paintballing is a major thing for me.
Oh, cool.
Uh, I won't go into why I like paintballing.
I
But
suspect
yes,
there's a story there, though.
yes, there is. It is quite an interesting story. It goes
Uh-huh.
a long way
I
back.
am sure.
Yes,
All right, since you
yes.
will go into that story, tell me about some of your other interests then.
Well, of
What are your
course.
hobbies?
Well, I was once a national cyclist.
Oh.
That was a long time ago. That was under the tenure of our national coach, Hassan Mohammed.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
You've participated. I mean, you've.
I used to win races, but look at this belly.
So you no longer compete?
No, I used to be involved in mixed martial arts as well as athletics. But of course, school, other commitments, otherwise, I've since dropped off. I was in gym. I used to do bodybuilding because my brother is a bodybuilder.
Wow.
And I love lifting weights, and it's an easy way to get rid of stress. A lot of people would know. I love exercising. I actually live on a farm as well. So, being on the farm, working alongside people, just being there, because having somebody work for you is one thing, but being able to work with them is another. And, so basically, I love to be active in the outdoors, hiking, camping,
Oh
hunting.
boy.
Yes, so yeah, I'm always in that. And I am trying to get back into gym.
I hear you.
Yeah, trying
hear
to.
you.
We will see how that goes. We'll work on the tummy for now.
Can I call you Farmer Vishal?
Yeah, well, given local context, maybe, maybe not.
Do you actually do any farming since you live on a farm?
No, but I do reap the products of the farming, and that's why this is where it is.
Uh-huh. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. What words of advice would you give to our young people of today?
Right. Well, first of all, young people, we're coming up, and especially in that developmental stage of what we call early adulthood. Medically, we call early adulthood late teenage years. So from about maybe 14 on to 25, which is actually my age. Young people tend to want to hold their own, but whilst we're holding our own, whilst you want to be critical thinkers, whilst you want to, ensure that you exemplify who you are and put that out there, you also need to be cognizant of a few things. Now, you need to be able to prepare yourself for the things that you want, right? Nothing is handed to anyone. You have to work hard for what you need in life, all right? And if things are given to you in an easy manner, learn to appreciate those things and understand and show compassion for others who don't. Learn to be a person of the world, not necessarily a person of self, which is selfish, of course, but learn to be a person of the world. Learn to love each other. And I think, young people as a whole just need to find purpose in life. As I, would say at forums whenever I am speaking, I always say to young people, find passion and compassion, because you can be passionate about something but not compassionate. You need to be there going for it. You're always going for it, but then it must also appeal to who you are. And if it doesn't embody who you are, don't go for it.
Okay. Some great words of advice there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right.